we're talking about geometric proofs, and in this case, we're talking about angle relationships. And so it says the line segment AH bisects angle GAP, and it also says angle 3 is congruent to angle 1. So we're going to write those things down as our first step. So line segment AH bisects angle GAP, and the reason we can write that down is given. So if line segment AH bisects angle GAP, then what we know is that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So I'm going to mark that on my drawing. Another piece of information that we're given is angle 3 is congruent to angle 1. So I'm going to write that down. It's going to say angle 3 is congruent to angle 1. And that was also given. So if angle 3 is congruent to angle 1, so I already marked angle 1 with 2 congruent marks, so then I want to mark angle 3 with 2 congruent marks as well. So based off our drawing and the information they're given, in our drawing already, it shows what we're trying to prove. Measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 2, but we have to do the steps in order to get there. So that's what we're trying to prove. The measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 2. So that's what we're trying to get. So the first piece of information that we can say is angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, and that is, so angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, and that is because definition of angle bisector. Next, we can say angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. So we can say angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. And why can we say that? Well, we have it drawn over here, but let's look at it. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 1, that was given. Angle 2 is also congruent to angle 1. So because 3 is congruent to 1 and 1 is congruent to 2, that tells us that angle 3 and angle 2 are also congruent. And the reason that is the transitive property of equality. And then our last step here, we're trying to get here, and all we're doing is changing it from a congruent comparing two angles to comparing the measure of the angles. So this is going to be definition of congruent angles. And all that says is, if the angles are congruent, then the measures of the angles have to be equal. And so our proof is over, QED.